Alright guys, so today we're going to be talking about two-step equations with geometric concepts. So what do we remember about angles and triangles? Well, angles, let's talk about our angles. We have a right angle. Let's go ahead and write that. Remember guys, if I'm writing, you're writing. Right angle, and it is equal to 90 degrees. We also have an acute angle, and that is equal to less than 90 degrees. We also have obtuse angle. So this one is more than 90 degrees. Okay. So those are our three angles we're going to be talking about today. We also have triangles. My triangle, it has three angles, right? So it'll be my first angle, second angle, and third angle. And we know that a triangle is equal to 180 degrees. Let's go ahead and write that in here. So there are 180 degrees in a triangle. Okay, let's do some more vocabulary here. So blank are angles that have the same measure. Congruent angles are angles that have the same measure. If you have the same measurement, you are congruent. The next one is complementary. Complementary angles are two angles whose measures have a sum of 90 degrees. So when we hear the word sum, that's our keyword, right? We know what operation's happening. We know where you're going to add. So that means the two angles, when you add them up, they're going to be 90 degrees. For my visual people, let me draw that for you. So I know a right angle is equal to 90 degrees. We're going to draw a line. So we're talking about two angles here. I'm going to color my first angle so you can see it. And I'm going to color my second angle. So they kind of complement each other. These two colors represent angles, and they are going to equal to 90 degrees. One way you can remember that is your CO, the first two, CO, if you draw a line, that's 90. That's one way you can remember that. Let's do the next vocabulary. The next one is supplementary. Supplementary angles are two angles whose measures have the sum of 180 degrees. So again, the sum of 80, so two angles, when you add them up, it's going to equal 180. So let's do a visual again. So this line, we have two angles, is going to equal 180. I'm going to color, this will be my first angle here, and my second angle. So these two, when you add up the angles, you should get 180. And another way you could remember that is just take the S. If you draw a line and you close it, you get 180. So hopefully those help you to remember which one is 90 degrees, which one's the sum of 90 degrees, and which one is the sum of 180. So let's move on. So in sixth grade, it asks you to find what is the value of x. Well, I remember that a triangle is equal to 180 degrees. So this triangle is going to equal to 180. I need to see my sides. All of my sides are going to add up to 180. But this side right here doesn't have a number, does it? Well, we know since it has a box, that angle is a right angle, which equals to 90 degrees. So we're going to write 90 in there. So let's go ahead and put this together. I'm going to add up all of my sides. I'm going to write 42 plus x plus 90 is equal to 180. Now, it's easier for me to combine like terms so that I can solve for x. I'm going to highlight my two that are the same. In this case, this whole number, 42 and 90 are the same, right? So I'm going to go ahead and add those together. I'm going to add it on the side. 42 plus 90 is going to give me 2 plus 0 is 2. 4 plus 9 is 13. So you're going to get 132. You're going to write it down here. You're going to bring down that plus x, and then you're going to bring down equals 180. So now I can solve for x. So remember what we learned last week. We are going to circle our coefficient and variable here. In this case, we just have a variable. We're going to circle that. Now we're going to do the opposite. I know it does not have a sign in the front of that 132, but I know it's positive. So I want to do the opposite. The opposite of positive 132 is minus 132, right? You're going to do the same to both sides. I run out of room, so I'm just going to put it underneath. But make sure you're putting it on the right side. So let me just cross it out so we don't get confused. So subtract these two. These cancel. We cannot take away 0 from 2, so we're going to borrow. 10 minus 2 is 8, and 7 minus 3 is 4. And this is 0. So we're going to bring down our x equals 248. And I'll write it again right here for you. X is equal to 48. So that's what it looked like in 6th grade. Of course, 7th grade, you're always adding a step. So let's see what this is going to look like. So it's still asking for what is the value of x. I know that that the triangle is equal to 180 degrees. I'm going to look for all 3 of my angles. So I got 2 of them here, but again, this is missing a number, right? But I know it is a right angle, so I know it's equal to 90 degrees. So let's go ahead and combine. We're going to add up all of my angles. So we got 4x plus 5x plus 90 is equal to 180. So let's highlight. The first step was to set it up. We wrote out everything we were going to add. The second is to combine like terms. In this case, I have 4x and I have 5x. Now when you combine them, all you have to do is add the number in front, our coefficients. So 4 plus 5 is 9. We're going to keep our x. We're going to bring down that plus 90 is equal to 180. Now we can solve for x. So we are going to circle coefficient and variable. We're going to draw a line. We have plus 90, so we're going to do the opposite, which is minus 90. We've got to do it to both sides. Cancel. 180 minus 90 is 90. Bring down that 9x equals to 90. I'm already multiplying here, so I'm going to do the opposite. So I'm going to divide by both sides. Now I want to get x by itself, so I'm going to get rid of that 9. You're going to divide both sides by 9. These cancel. I got x equals 90 divided by 9 is 10. X is equal to 10. Okay, make sure you have all that information written down. We're going to go ahead and turn it over to the back. So we have example 1. It says, what is the value of x? So let's see. Let's see. The first step is we're going to put equals 180. And now we got to set it up. That means we're going to add up all of my sides. So we're going to add 2x plus 63. I'm writing plus 36 next. And I'm going to add plus 3x plus 41 is equal to 180. So let's take our highlighter. we're going to combine like terms. We're going to combine first our x's. Let's highlight that 2x. We're then going to highlight 3x. Is there any more? Nope. So let's go ahead and add those together. We're going to add the number in the front, our coefficient. 2 plus 3 is going to be 5x. Okay, now we're going to use a different highlighter, and we're going to combine our whole numbers now. So we're going to combine 63, 36, and 41. We're going to add up all those numbers together. I'm going to do it on the side here. 63 plus 36 is 99 plus 41. It's going to give me 140. 9 plus 1 is 10, plus 4 is 14. So 140. So I'm going to add 140 here, and I'm going to write equals to 180. So now we can solve. So let's circle our coefficient and variable. We're going to draw a line. Whatever I do to one side, I do to the other. So plus 40, we're going to do the opposite, which is subtract 140. Do it to both sides. These cancel. 5x is equal to, I'm bringing that down, 180 minus 140 is 40. So now I have to do the opposite again. These two stuck together are multiplying, so the opposite is division. I'm going to divide by both sides. I get x is equal to 40 divided by 5 is 8. Okay, we're going to skip number 2 because I want you to do this one by yourself. We're going to go on to number 3. Number 3 says the sum of the measures of angle R and M is 90. So it's telling me what it's going to equal. It's going to equal to 90. So I'm already writing that out. So the measure of angle R is 45 plus 2x. So we can write this. We're going to combine them for 45 plus 2x. And the measure of angle M is 13x. So we're going to add that. So my visual people, it's just the same as writing my triangle. They're giving you the angles. Oh, I'm sorry. This is not a triangle. Sorry. This is a complementary angle because it's equal to 90, right? So it's going to look like this. So that means that this angle, we're going to name this angle R. R is going to be 45 plus 2x. And this angle M right here is going to be 13x. So we have to combine these two to get me 90 degrees. So we're going to combine the like terms. In this case, I have my x's. We're going to combine those two together. We're going to add up our 13 plus 2, which is 15x, and then I'm going to add 45 equals to 90. Now I can solve. I'm going to circle my coefficient and variable, draw my line. Math is fair. What do you do to one side, you do to the other. Plus 45, I'm going to do the opposite. Minus 45. These cancel. 90 minus 45 is 45. Bring down my 15x. Now I'm going to do the opposite still. These two together are multiplying, so the opposite is division. So I'm going to divide by both sides. I want to get x by itself, so I'm going to get rid of the 15. Cancels. I have x equals 45 divided by 15 is 3. Okay. So now I want you guys to do example 2 by yourself and the check-in. Now be careful. Remember what we did first. You need to add up all of your sides. So I'm going to be checking for that. I'm going to check where you added up all of your sides. Remember your triangle is equal to 180. So you should already be putting 180. And go ahead and add up all your sides. Okay? Use your highlighter that I gave you so you don't get confused. Raise your hand when you're done so I can come by and check off your paper.